In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Eisenhower matrix and how you can use it to effectively prioritize your tasks and plans going forward. If you don't know who I am already, my name is Michael Tabirade, coach and mentor, and I help self-starters and ambitious professional millennials increase their productivity, enhance their performance, and live their life on purpose. Now, if this is the first time you've been to this channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can receive more videos like this. Now, don't forget to remember that all of the links actually highlighted in this video are below. Now let's get to it. Those of you who are learning in this field will know that Dwight Eisenhower was responsible for pulling together the concept of the Eisenhower matrix. Now, if you've read the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, you will familiarize yourself with this concept known as the time management matrix. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about practical ways in which you can use this as well. If you stay to the end, I'm going to share my #1 tip in how you can use this for yourself. Now, the Eisenhower matrix is split up into 4 main quadrants, and they're based on 2 independent factors, urgent and important. Now, urgent tasks are things that you need to do straight away, or at least within the next 48 hours. And important tasks are things that you can take more time on, but have a huge impact in your day-to-day activities. Looking at the Eisenhower matrix, the 4 quadrants are split up into 4 main categories. Number 1, things that you need to do now. Number 2, things that you can schedule or plan. Number 3, things that you can delegate or automate. Or number 4, things that you can leave alone, or you can consider as leisurely activities. Now, do we actually use this model? Well, most people don't. Okay, let's be real. In this day and age, most people just do some mind map or think about it or talk it through with someone. But again, conceptually, this is a fantastic way of understanding how you can bucket your priorities in different ways. And so there are some ways in which you can practically use this concept to be more effective. Most people use this concept when they're trying to develop some sort of big program or project, either in their personal or professional lives. Let's say, for example, if you are using the Kanban process for your Trello as an example, you may want to start off by, the way I just said that was quite funny. You may want to start off by making sure you understand what your priorities are based on urgency and importance. And then you can start adding cards to your Trello board in order for you to have a sense of flow and understanding of what you need to be focusing on in the coming weeks. So that's one way you could use it as well. Now, the general idea is that you want to spend less time doing urgent things and things that don't really serve you, and spend more time doing important things. Now, obviously, there are going to be things that you delegate and automate and all this kind of stuff there. But if you get the important stuff right, then naturally the others should reduce as well. And you may even argue more leisure time may be increased because you've been able to focus on what's important early on. So for example, if I needed to do a business plan, I know that's going to help me in terms of understanding what I need to do day to day. And so I won't be in a position where I may need to do last minute orders or send things last minute to a customer, etc., because I'm sticking to a rhythm, I'm sticking to a plan. And so understanding that tackling the important things head on is really, really key. You may be thinking to yourself, I don't have the money to delegate to other people, X, Y, and Z. All I can say to you is change the way in terms of how you see delegate. You may want to pass on the work to somebody who's more professional to deal with some work on your behalf. You may want to pay someone, if you've got the money, to get them to do what you need to do. You may want to automate your process using Zapier as an example, or using Google or your calendar to help you become more efficient at what you're doing. And so open your mind when it comes to delegation and automation. Now, there are 2 ways in which I think you can actually use this concept to help you be more effective. So if you're more creative and you like drawing and all that kind of stuff there, you can use an A2 piece of paper and effectively do a cross in the middle, and you want to create some sort of axes from 0 to 10 or 0 to -10, and basically have urgent on one axis and important on the other axis. And using sticky notes, you can get to a point of sticking down where you want to place each of your tasks and priorities based on how important and how urgent they are. You can also do this digitally using a Google Jamboard as well. In addition to that, if you're a bit more methodical, you can use an Excel spreadsheet or write this down in your journal and basically have 3 main columns, or 4 main columns, should I say. The first column is going to be the tasks. So list out all your different tasks. The next column is going to be important, and so you're going to rank out of 10 or maybe out of 5 depending on what you prefer, how important that specific task is. In the column next to that, you're going to have urgent. Again, you're going to give it a number in terms of how urgent that task is. And then at the end, you're going to have product or total, which is going to be the important number times by the actual urgent number as well. So obviously the higher the number, the higher the priority. But also bear in mind that if the number is high in terms of urgency, you know there is a time sort of goal attached to it. There's a certain level of urgency. And so bear that in mind. If it's above an 8, 9 or 10, you know you need to get that done pretty soon. As stated before, because you've reached the end, here's the bonus tip. Make sure you focus on having less tasks, because that way it's easier to prioritize. If I had 100 things to do, of course I'm going to be overwhelmed. Of course I'm going to be confused. And so sometimes the issue that we face is that we don't have the rule of one in mind. And so the less things you have, the better positioned you are in order to get things done. And so in order to be effective is also to make sure that you have a good system in place to make sure that that is definitely going to happen. And so in the next video, I'm going to be talking about Kanban process and how you can use that in Trello to be a super productive and effective beast. In order to be notified for that video, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, don't forget to understand, reach, and expand. Peace.